Hey guys, System here, and this is FTB Skies. I myself am having a wonderful day. Hope you guys all are as well. Let's go ahead and move forward and move on with the pack, right? So in between episodes, I've gone ahead and done a few little things. Not too much, but I did go ahead and set this up right here. Real jank, kind of just quick and dirty automation. Get us some of the mineral crystals and the blocks of, I guess, crystallized mineral as well. Because I realized I'm going to need some very fast liquid moving pipes today. And I guess integrated dynamics provides those, right? So just a really easy way to do that. I'm going to go ahead and drop that off. To get the actual saplings for the mineral in this pack, you need to go ahead and take a regular oak sapling and throw it into a pool. So really easy to do there. And once you have that, you just start growing the tree. So I was using our tree set up here. And then once I get the wood, I can just take the wood and throw it into a mechanical squeezer and then squeeze it down, right? So basically what I can do is grab this right here. Go ahead and pop that in there. I'll start getting all these crystals here, which is fantastic. Also it produces liquid, which you can auto-eject here. So I'm auto-ejecting it into this tank, which gets put into this basin. It kind of dries out, turns into a crystallized block, and just ends up here, right? So works out pretty well. And just need a little bit. I don't really need this setup anymore. I just need enough to get a few of the pipes because, well, the fission reactor is going to require it. It needs massive amounts of water, right? So I just need the one cable, I guess, pretty much, and a couple other things, right? Anyway, that is good there. And then I guess the other thing I did was, if we go into, which one is it? This one in here. I had to go ahead and get us some HDPE. So to get HDPE, you need this stuff here, the substrate that we were getting from our ethylene setup. I was just voiding it off, I guess, at this point. But I went ahead and added a new machine here, a rotary, as well as a pressurized reaction chamber. Basically take the substrate, and I'm sorry, you take the ethylene first, right? So I'm just pulling off the ethylene line that's going in here. You need to turn it into liquid ethylene. So that's what I'm doing here in the rotary. And you push that over to a pressurized reaction chamber, mix it with oxygen. Previously, we were voiding off the oxygen, I guess, in this electrolytic separator, because we had no use for it, right? So I'm just pulling it out, put it inside that, mixing them together. Then you just give it substrate, right? So give this substrate. It'll just start making the HDPE pellets, at which point you can either craft it up into the HDPE or run it through an enrichment at way cheaper kind of rate there, but I just usually craft them up. And the only reason I really needed this setup here was for the solar neutron activators, which is another thing we need kind of move forward, right? So just so we have access to that material, and we are pretty much good to go. So I think that's pretty much everything I did, except for set up some recipes here. So what we're going to do is start working on our, I guess, our polonium, I guess, here. That's set up, as well as the plutonium pellets, right? So we need 5 of these pellets, so we're going to have to set up the fission reactor, like I said. Then we need to start processing the waste into the plutonium, so we'll end up doing that. And then we have to start doing a large amount of polonium as well. We need that for, like, late in-game, I guess. So go to here, head down to overpowered. So we need the plutonium right away, right? That's going to give us our infinite containers from Elemental Craft, which is pretty cool, as well as our flight totem, which is nice, and a creative controller. So that's actually a pretty cool quest line. These ones are all pretty much done too. Well, I guess I did this too. I kind of forgot about this. I did the formation cores. These just take the logic processors from 82. So I basically just had to swap out our inscriber. I had to make a bunch of silicon, and then I had to swap out the silicon press for a while with the logic press and just throw in a bunch of gold. So just did that, got them all crafted up, made those circuits just so we'd be done those quests as well. But I'll have to submit that one. I guess we have to do a bookcase as well. But anyway, not that big a deal. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get the plutonium. But the reason we need so much of the polonium, right? So I think we need thousands of buckets, is to make this antimatter, these pellets here. So you look at this antimatter and kind of go over here. You can go to supercritical phase shifter, which is where this is made. 1 bucket of polonium equals 1 millibucket of antimatter. So if we need, I think it was 5, right? Is that what we need for the quest? Yeah, we need 5. So effectively, we need 5,000 buckets of polonium to be able to actually produce that. So we need to start working towards that. So let's go ahead and get that set up. So I've gone ahead and set up the basic shape of the fission reactor, right? So we're going to be going with a 7x7x7, so a nice little small one here. Should be able to keep up with the burn rate, I guess the production rate of our fuel in the actual compact machine. So it should be more big enough for our needs. So we're not going to go massive in this one at all whatsoever, because it'll be just kind of being produced in the background, right? So the outside kind of edges of the reactor have to be reactor casing. So that's just this jazz right here, not too bad to make. And then on the interior walls, the interior parts, you use either reactor casing or the reactor glass. I'll be using reactor glass on the outside walls, probably use the casing on the roof. Then the inside here, you're going to need some of these. You're going to need the fission fuel assemblies and the control rod assemblies, right? And you want to kind of lay them out in a checkerboard pattern, right? So you can kind of lay them out in different ways, but this is the most optimal way to kind of do this. So yeah, just kind of like that right there. Want to bring this up to the top until there's like one space there, at which point you want to switch over to the control rod assemblies and kind of like cap them off, right? And you can make this thing really big. I forget how big it is, but it's bigger than the chunk. That's what I remember. And yeah, I really don't see a purpose because, well, then you got to load multiple chunks and you have to have massive burn rates, and we don't have either of those things, right? So anyway, go ahead and grab our casing, probably cap this off here. Go ahead and get this done really quickly. Just get us a fission reactor set up here. So there you go. That'll be kind of the roof there. To do the sides there, I guess we'll just do, like I said, all reactor glass. We'll be able to wand most of this anyway, right? We will have to add some ports after we multi-block this, but that is the least of our worries. There you go. And then bring that across. That is good. Then we should be able to just go ahead and wand this up, right? There you go. And we got our particles. So that's what we want to see there. That is a, I guess, functioning multi-block. Although it's not really functioning because we don't have ports in, but we do have our interface now, which is what we're going for. We're going to have 4 ports on this, right? So one's going to be for this one here will probably be for the fissile, I guess. I think fissile is the proper way. And then I guess one will be for, I guess, steam. We'll have steam coming out of this too, and I don't want the steam. You can pull the steam and use it in a steam turbine. Yeah, steam turbine, right? But yeah, we don't want that. I'm just going to put it off, so that'll end up being for avoiding that off. Back here, we'll probably do our automations. And then we'll probably do water on this side here, I'm thinking, right? So kind of have that there. So that's good. That is our actual fission reactor, right? So that'll be kind of the final kind of setup there, except for the actual automation parts. We're going to go ahead and head to that compact machine, though. We need to get one of these quantum transporters set to a channel so we can actually pull the fuel over there. So let's go ahead and pop inside this thing. Should be able to do this really easy too, right? So the quantum transporter. Oh, I don't have flight anymore. You need to have a jetpack. Go ahead and pop that on. Go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and head up here. On the top of this tank, we'll just set this puppy. Go ahead and create a channel too. So we want it to probably just be the fissile. You go. Hit the check mark there. Make sure it's selected. Then we just need to configure the size. Actually, do we even need to do the size? Let's do the output on the gases first down here. Let's see here. We're on gases already. Top, we want output. Auto eject is on. You can see there it's already in there actually. So yeah, that's already filled up with I guess 400,000 I guess buckets. 440,000 millibuckets of the actual fuel in there. So that's not too bad. Also, I came back in here too and made sure this was chunk loaded because apparently I forgot to do that and it wasn't producing in the background because there should be more in there by this time, but it doesn't matter too much either way, right? So it's good and ready to go. Anyway, let's go ahead and head out. And go ahead and get this into the reactor, right? So to get this in the reactor should be super easy now. All we need is to take another one of these quantum transporters, pop that down. This thing needs to be set to the proper channel, but now that we have it, we can just select it there. And then I meant to go ahead and make some tubes. Did I do those recipes? I think I did, right? Yeah, I want these here. Let's make like a stack of these puppies. The good thing about these tubes too is they're actually better than the tanks. For this mod, you can move the tanks around, which is great, but the actual tubes themselves have 1,000 bucket capacity, right? So just having this tube here means this can hold an extra 1,000 buckets of fissile fuel, which is crazy, right? Anyways, go ahead and set the extract on that. Go to the sides of this thing, go to gases, and the top, I guess we want output, auto eject on, and that should work there, right? There you go. So we look at the reactor there. Actually has 416,000 buckets of fuel in there. That's probably the max too. And the rest is going into the actual pipe right now. I forget what the buffer inside the actual entangle porter is, but it doesn't matter too much. It might be another 1,000 actually, which is not too bad. On this side here, we're going to do the, I guess, the coolant, which is going to be the water, right? Let's go ahead and grab that. We need to make sure this one is super fast. This is the one I needed the integrated dynamic stuff from, right? So let's go to go to the fluid, I guess, because we want the fluid ones, right? Then we'll have a fluid, doesn't matter which one. We use this one here, the actual exporter. And then we'll have to grab some variable cards. Probably need to go ahead and break these down too from the blocks. Go and grab our variables. We need to keep one of these on us, and then the rest we just go ahead and use for crafting. So that's good there. Then we'll actually have our, what am I missing, man? What am I missing? This? Oh, I guess we just need one of each, right? So we grab ourselves an exporter, and then I guess we need the interface as well, which I think I already made, but we'll just grab some more. We just need one of each. Then we'll also need a logic cable. That is the kind of main cable for the mod, right? So this stuff right here. There you go. And we actually only need one of those as well. So these things are ridiculously fast, right? So let's go ahead and grab the exporter. We'll put it on the target there. And go ahead and grab ourselves an interface and pop that right there. Put the logic on top of that. And then this is pretty much good to go, right? So all we have to do is grab this variable card, put it in the appropriate slot, which will be export all fluids. Now that is going to start filling it up, but it's going to do it slow, right? So I think that's pretty fast, actually. But we can make it insanely fast, right? So we click the plus sign, go over to the fluid transfer rate, change that from 1 to 9, because 9 is bigger than 1. And we go ahead until we see the X, then go back 1. So that's the max size of the, I guess, the transfer rate we can actually set. So that is the transfer rate now. And then we just kind of click that off, and then that's going to pretty much instantly fill up. So that is why these things are so good. They're just insane fluid transporters, which is crazy. Also, the reason I need so much water, I don't think I actually really showed that. If you go to the waste here, go to the nuclear waste, go to the fission reactor, and go to like what's needed, right? So 1 millibucket of fissile fuel equals 20 buckets of steam and 1 millibucket of nuclear waste and 20 buckets of water. So basically you need 20 buckets of water for every millibucket of fissile fuel. So it adds up very quickly, right? So that's why you need so much. So effectively we could turn this on right now. We don't have any way of dealing with the steam yet though. The way we'll deal with the steam, like I said, will be just this trash can. So we want this one to output coolant. So you just kind of shift and right click on it with the configurator there. And pop that there. We never have to deal with steam anymore. So I should probably go ahead and make it daytime here before we actually turn this thing on. But another thing we'll have back here too. So back here where we'll have the kind of automations to actually make our polonium and plutonium. We want this one on output waste. But one thing I'm going to do here is grab one of these tubes. So kind of like that right there. So that's going to extract. Then I'm just going to do a 3x3 of them. And with that we have 9,000 bucket buffer of nuclear waste, right? So one of the machines here, the solar neutron activator, the one that's going to be making the polonium, can only run during the daytime. So I want to make sure I have enough buffer, so if I don't sleep through the night, it could still, you know, make the polonium get caught up, right? Or the next day. And that should be able to do that with that kind of buffer, right? We shouldn't have any issue. So now that we have that all set up, we're actually safe to turn this on because we have that nice buffer for the nuclear waste there. So if you go ahead and turn this on here, everything should just start up, right? When you turn it on too, it also, I guess by default, starts in safe mode, right? So it's currently in safe mode, basically. It's only burning 0.1 millibucket of the actual fissile fuel. So it's pretty safe at this point. You don't really have to worry about it. It just kind of puts it in mode so you can go around and make sure everything's working. But in here, we should start getting some nuclear waste. You can see there it's building up. That'll go up and up and up over time, of course. We'll have to deal with that. But everything's good, right? So everything's good in the world. This is a good time to check out whether your waste is going up too. So if that waste is going up, you want to make sure you kind of manage your waste. And the other thing that might come up here is steam, but we're voiding that off. So it's good, right? So this thing is completely safe, right? So a lot of people are afraid of this reactor. The only thing that'll ever really break it, right, is if you let the temperature get too high, right? The temperature goes, I think it's past like 3/4. It can go into meltdown mode, and then you'll radiate your base, and part of your reactor will get destroyed. Not a good thing. You don't want that to happen. The other thing is if the waste tank ever gets completely full, then you radiate your base. So basically, just never too hot and that shouldn't happen as long as you're trying not to run it too high, right? The actual temperature. and then the waste tank, as long as you're dealing with your waste, you should be fine there, right? So it's relatively safe is what I'm trying to say. This reactor here only has a max burn rate of 52, so we'll go ahead and turn it straight to 52. And now it's actually burning 52 millibuckets of the fissile fuel at once. And you notice that our fissile is actually going down because we aren't producing that much, right? So it'll burn through the backlog, then probably slow down a bit. But the temperature, even at that point, is only at half here, right? So we are completely fine, and everything else is good here, right? Of course, this is filling up back here, but we're going to start using that. We already have 20, I guess almost 30 buckets of nuclear waste here. First one we're going to set up here, I think it's going to be the plutonium, because that's going to be the first one we need anyway, right? So I'll probably have that like right here. There you go. And that should get full of nuclear waste. If you have these little green particles here, so notice there are the green particles there, that basically means the machine or the pipe has something that's radioactive in it. So right now, if I broke this centrifuge, I would irradiate my base. So be very aware of that, right? You may notice too, we have some plutonium. We do need to get some power here though. So let's go underneath this, I guess. Go ahead and grab ourselves a point. Apparently I don't have any in here. Do that. So yeah, as long as you're safe around this stuff, I guess careful. You don't have much to worry about. Also, I guess I updated the pack too. And when I did, my flux points, like they're working fine. But look at that. Look at that. I don't know what's going on with that image. It's all messed up either way. Okay, let's go ahead and pop that down there. Go ahead and turn that on. And that's going to start just processing all of the nuclear waste. That actually did everything all in that short little time there. I did upgrade this thing, so it's kind of going at max speed, right? So it's going pretty fast. But you see here, we're already totally buffered on plutonium, right? And that's probably all the plutonium we need. I'm just going to let this fill up here one more time. So that is good there. Then I'm going to probably break this connection. So let's do that right there. Then we'll go ahead and set up our pressurized reactor chamber and actually start making plutonium here. So let's do that. And maybe you. I don't want to deal with you right now, so please go away. I get so many bees now. I'm probably going to turn them off soon. I think we almost have all the runes and Gaia shards we need, right? So probably not deal with that much longer, because they're just popping up so much more now that I have all the other events turned off. So I'll have to set the extract here. Yeah, I guess we'll need a ultimate as well. Actually, I may have some of those in here. Do I have any of the pipe upgrades? There you go. Go ahead and grab that. Pop you out here and pop this down. So the next machine is going to be the PRC. So we need to get the plutonium in here, and we need to mix this with water now. I don't think it matters which side we do this on either. So let's just do that. Go ahead and grab a pipe. Pop that over here. Then go ahead and pull that inside. And now it has the water and the plutonium. Last thing we need here is fluorite. And I've already gone ahead and ground some down, because you have to have it in the dust form. So I did one stack here. We don't need much of this stuff after all, right? So I just go ahead and throw that in there. And that's just going to start actually making our plutonium, right? So that's cool there. We already have 10 of them. We only needed 5 for the quest. So we'll end up with a little extra, but I don't really care. Do we have any more in there? No. So we'll have to produce one more. You may notice this too. This is the other waste. This is the spent nuclear waste. This is the one you can't really deal with any other way except for this right here. You have to make these, oh, I have one right here. These radioactive waste barrels. So these right here. Then you just kind of like put that down right there. Then we need ourselves, I guess, a tube. Let's go ahead and do that. Pop that there. Set that to extract. There you go. Then we'll have to set the side of that as well, I guess. Go to the gases, and then we want the front of the machine. Output auto ejectors on. And it's going to end up in this barrel. And then you notice that it's kind of like slowly ticking down. So it's going from, it was a lot, 11,000 buckets, and it's going down 1 kind of millibucket at a tick. It'll go all the way down to 0 and void itself off. So it's a very, very, very slow way of voiding it off, but it's the only way of dealing with this stuff, right? And that's good there. The other thing I wanted to do, the reason I kind of maxed out the machine and filled the buffer too, because now I technically don't even need these machines anymore. I'll leave them here. But otherwise, if I left, like, if I didn't fill it, I just kind of eyed it and then, you know what I mean, didn't let the tank fill. I would have had to make sure there wasn't 1 extra millibucket in the machine. And if I ever broke that machine, I would have radiated my base, right? I just wanted to make sure there was exactly 1,000, which is the ratio that the plutonium actually worked with. So that handles the plutonium. We're actually already done the plutonium. I want to go ahead and set up the polonium at the same time. I have so hard. I have such a hard time trying to say that one. Polonium. Don't ask me why. So anyway, we'll put that into the solar neutron activator. It's going to start automatically producing this stuff. And this is going to be a form. We're just going to bulk storage this one at this point, right? So we have, you see there, just kind of makes it really quick. Does everything for us. This one here can't speed up either. Doesn't have any upgrades. Just based by the sun, right? And I'm just going to probably at this time use a whole bunch of tubes to store this stuff too, right? So we'll just have a whole bunch of tubes here, kind of sitting here, just storing it up. I'm just going to do it really messy too. I'm not too worried about it. Go ahead, maybe just one another row. Here you go. And every one of these tubes is 1,000 buckets, right? So we have more than enough. And at some point, I guess, we'll have to do the supercritical phase shifter. And that's when we'll get into the antimatter. But I need to store up massive amounts of this. I think it was like 5,000 buckets, right? And this will make sure we don't get backed up. And I have time to come back and make sure, check it every once in a while, and turn off the machine when it's appropriate. But that's effectively our setup for the fission reactor right now. Of course, we'll come back to this at a later point. But that's it. That's going to be everything we do right now. This thing's safe. It can't break. Like, the only thing that can break it, like I said, right now, I guess, is the tubes. If these things ever got completely full, this would finally get backed up with nuclear waste, and I'd radiate my base. But if I don't do that, I'm fine. I guess the other thing would be if I broke these tubes or this machine right here. Well, it has some radioactive stuff in it, but I'm not going to do that, right? So that is that for now. Maybe go ahead and actually finish off a few quests and come back to this later on, right? So let's go ahead and get a couple quests here done, right? So the first one I want to go ahead and do is this one here, Arcane Creatio. We have everything done except for these Arcane Sands, which I think I have on me, right? So let's go ahead and actually just submit that one, just like that. And we're going to get one of these here, a Creative ME Mana Cell, which is actually no use to us at all, unfortunately, because we're not using AE2, right? But if you're using AE2, you can store mana inside of your system, kind of like we are with the fluids, right? So really cool in that regards. Then the next one, I guess, we're going to need a infused hell shelf and some of this dust as well. If you don't have this gem dust too, you can actually get it really easy. You just grab some of these like gems here. And you grab, I didn't make a, I think I threw away my salvaging table actually, by mistake. Let's go ahead and make one. There you go. Go ahead and do that there. Pop that in there. And you just break these down. So you just break down the gems and you actually get dust. So that's the easy way of getting that, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and drop that off. And then we have to make the hell shelf. And I think I have everything I need for this. Yeah, we needed potions of regeneration. We're not going to get any rewards from this one that I really know either, right? So I don't know what this storm lens is. And I tried Googling this one earlier on in the pack. Because I was like, what's the storm lens? Have no idea what it does. No clue. May have to take it, fool around with it at some point. And these runes, I don't know enough about this Reaper mod. I looked at it early on as well, but it seems like it's mostly like mob spawning and stuff like that. And we have so many options in this pack that I never got to it. It does have a power setup though, so if it's in a different pack in the future, I may try the power setup. Anyway, let's go ahead and do that there. And then, what do we need here? Oh, we need to fill up the bottles. That'd be helpful. Let's go ahead and do that there. Go ahead and drop you off. Get the nether wart in there. Go ahead and maybe speed that up too because I'm impatient. These things are super slow by default. But we just need one regeneration potion. And apparently we need to enchant the hell shelf. I have made these before for the setup for, I guess, the apotheosis enchanting. You get it kind of like maxed out. But anyway, it's been a while. See here, hell shelf. Grab one of them. Then I think we have to get a infusion enchant on this, right? Oh, also I have my jetpack on. Do not need that. Especially in a second we'll have true creative. So yeah, we need this one right here. So go ahead and grab that. And with that, I think we go ahead and submit that one, right? So let's go ahead and submit it. There you go. Just got a whole bunch of stuff here. No clue what any of this stuff does. Also, don't hold shift when you're in here. Sometimes it opens that up and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know how that works. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It's only if I hold shift while I'm in here. I have no idea. That's weird. Because, yeah, like I said, it's just sometimes. Let's go ahead and drop off the stuff here. I'm going to keep this one, though. I want to fool around with that one and figure it out. The plutonium, we should be able to submit that one as well, right? So let's go ahead and submit that. And then we need a supreme machine frame. This is going to be the quest that gives us all the real good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in this one, right? So let's go ahead and grab this here. Go to supreme. because I'm not crafting that by hand. We already have this all automated, although we'll have to wait for it to make the other machine frames, I guess, but that is the least of our worries, right? So I need to pull something out of here. I don't know why I have these tier 1s in here anyway. Tier 1 processing. Yeah, I don't need tier 1s. Go ahead and grab those. And then go ahead and make ourselves a Supreme here, right? Supreme. Not a Supreme. There you go. That's good. That should start that process there. While I'm waiting, I might as well clear these patterns too, because I can always reclaim them all. That's fantastic. Can you actually make this thing? There you go. Just making sure the recipe is going to work here. So there's the first one. Then we still got 2 more to go. But after that, we actually get some really good stuff here. We get all the creative element containers, so that'll be good for the pure rune automation that we have to do at some point. Then we're going to get a creative controller and true creative flight as well. So I'm pretty excited for that. I know a lot of people are telling me too that the flight totem, you can get it from your mob farm. I don't think that's intentional, so I've been avoiding that, right? So I haven't seen it, but even if I did see it, I probably would have avoided it off because I want to get it the legit way. Because I think you're supposed to get it from this quest line right here, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and submit that. Then we get ourselves, oh, see, it just did it again. Don't hold shift. There you go. Go ahead and do that there. Get that all in our inventory. And then we get all our creatives here. So we'll be able to use these quite a bit. We actually have 2 more quests where we need element. So that is cool. Let's go ahead and throw that into my backpack, I guess, so I don't lose those. That is good there. Then we get our ability totem. This is the sweet, sweet creative flight. Let's go ahead and equip that thing. And then I should be able to go ahead and turn off our other, oh, that's not it. That's not my elevator at all. Our other creative flight here. So if I turn off this one, right? There you go. Go ahead and see if it actually stops here in a second. I need that buff to go away first, then we'll try it. Then we also have the controller. There you go, our creative flight's gone. There you go, we actually have creative now. So true creative. I don't have to worry about range anymore. Before, if I came out like this far, it would actually go away. And now I can fly wherever I want, whenever I want. Actually seems slightly faster too. Maybe around the same speed. Yeah, it feels actually like the same speed. Either way, that is awesome and really useful there. So that is good. And the last thing I need to do is probably come back here, break you, because we don't need that anymore. Go ahead and pop you back down. Break that. And we've got ourselves the creative controller as well, right? So let's go ahead and turn on our magnet for a second. Good, pump you down. Sweet. And that should be just infinitely fueling this as well, right? So it's not powered anymore. And do I have access to my wireless? I do. So it's actually powering our 8,000 RF a tick dimension card as well. So it's doing all that for us. And we don't have to worry about powering this at all anymore. We're only using 9200 FE here, but that's not too bad, right? That is actually super slick. We just got some major upgrades. What do we get next? Nothing from there. Wondering when we're going to get another cool reward. What creative reclamation? I forget what reclamation does. Must have something to do with Catalyst. I have no idea. I'll have to look at that one. Creative spellbook. Creative jetpack. Do you really need the jetpack? I guess you can move around super fast, I guess. That thing would move you so fast you were exploring. I guess down here. Creative source jar. And then I've never used this thing either. The creative, I guess the world shaper. Never used the world shaper. Is it like a regular one? Because I think that has something to do with building, right? Sets block placed by the tool to the target. Applies the current selected brush to, and I have no idea. No clue what that one is. I guess one more quest we could do while we're kind of sitting here too is go ahead and grab ourselves a point. Throw it on here. We should be able to fill this up with 100 billion RF really easy too. So go 100B. Do that one. Click that off. That should start filling up. And we might as well go ahead and turn off the limit too. So bypass limit. It's going to go at our max kind of output right now based on the providers that we have in our battery there, right? But that should fill up pretty quick here. Yeah, it's just pumping out power super quick. It's kind of weird how it does it in batches. It does like 1.2 billion per kind of operation there. But it's pulling down the power. And yeah, we still have the massive input. But we're going to have a lot less power here in a second. There you go. Our 100 billion's done. How much do we have left? Still have 82 billion. So, yeah, we are doing good here. We're actually on the last kind of chain of quests here. And we are working towards this as, as fast as we can. I really want this cheaty storage, man. Wish we got this earlier. creative storage, just like infinite storage disk, would be totally rad. I already have this one done too. I have that done. I have that done. That would be easy. We're working on antimatter right now. We'll have the pure crystals. I have no idea what this is. It doesn't look hard though. Actually, it looks really easy. Cool, man. That's actually really rad. So we did pretty good today, I think, right? So we finally got through that quest line. I guess in the next video, we'll probably have to go ahead and work on liquid DT fuel. So we'll do that one. So we'll be working on tritium and deuterium. But I think I may go ahead and actually wrap this one up here. So as always, if you guys like this video, please hit that like button. Really liked it, hit that subscribe button. It is always appreciated. When you guys all have a good one. See you guys in the next video. Later.